Family cultivation plus talisman array plus personal space plus single female lead plus reincarnation plus genius plus no hold backLu Ziqi, who grew up in a poor town, was recruited as a son.in.law by the mayor's office as soon as his spiritual roots were detected. On the day of his wedding, he learned about the reason for the mayor's son.in.law recruitment and decided to escape. On the road of escaping marriage, she was favored by the magical pearl and embarked on a different journey of cultivating immortality. The Lu family will also rise again in the cultivation world due to his return, until one day they stand at the peak of the immortal world. Cultivation system. Cultivating Qi, building foundations, forming pills, primordial infants, transforming spirits. The rhythm is too fast, following the plot from the mortal world to the immortal world. Chapter 1. Strange Destiny on the Road of Escaping Marriage. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. It is night, with stars hidden and the moon absent. Only the two lanterns hanging high at the entrance of the small town emitted a dim light. A figure climbed over the wall and ran wildly towards the southwest. In less than half a cup of tea time, the two tightly closed doors slammed open from inside, and more than a dozen figures appeared. The leader looked around and raised his hand to point southwest. Over there, hurry up. These people are obviously faster than the person just now. The young man running ahead was a 16 or 17-year-old, who was already panting heavily. Glancing at a large mountain not far away, it seemed as if stars had squeezed through the clouds, casting their radiance. They took 3 steps in 2 and rushed in at the fastest speed. With a flick of their fingers, the group of people flocked to the mountain, followed closely by the Sani group and the Pai group. Reaching out in the mountains without seeing 5 fingers seems very advantageous for hiding. However, a fireball technique can illuminate a distance of several meters in a circle. The determination to survive made the young man's stumbling figure suddenly full of strength. He walked briskly towards the inside and disappeared into the darkness, far from the sight of that group of people. Chase, we must not let him run away. If you want to run, there's no way. The sound of pursuit from behind was like a series of life-threatening notes, causing the young man's heart to become more and more anxious. With a thud, he tripped over the vine. Lifting his firm eyes, he reached out to stand up with the help of a nearby tree, but felt a void. His eyes showed surprise as he was surprised. Originally, there was a hole under the big tree, which was very hidden. Even during the day, it was difficult to find it under the cover of dense shrubs. The tree hole is not big enough to barely squeeze into his body. The young man didn't hesitate to shrink in, holding his breath with both hands around his knees, and burying his chin in his knees. Success or failure depends on this one move. If one cannot avoid it, then it can only be said that heaven is about to destroy him. Why is it missing? It's not running so fast, is it? Divide the search and continue chasing inside. In a space on a certain interface, several powerful cultivators are fighting fiercely for treasures, and the violent energy fluctuations are shaking a crack in the surrounding space. A gray little bead appeared inexplicably in the crack, blinking as if it had been seen again, silently rolling out of the crack and disappearing in front of the big shots. No more footsteps could be felt, and the young man carefully drilled out of the tree hole. He wanted to run out of the mountain while those people had not yet returned, finding a glimmer of hope. In the pitch-black night, he lifted his legs and lightly stepped down, running towards the foot of the mountain. As soon as he left the mountain, he ran at the fastest speed. Suddenly, a beam of light and shadow flashed across the sky like a shooting star, heading straight towards the young man. Instinctively wanting to dodge, but not as fast as the speed of light and shadow, the stream of light hitting the body feels a bit painful. After a moment of pause, he didn't feel any discomfort and flew away again. I don't know how far I ran, but there was no sound of chasing. The boy leaned against a big tree and slowly sat down, panting heavily. It seems like I can't die anymore. He muttered, close your eyes, he's really tired. The young man's name is Ziqi, and tonight should have been a great day for him to enter the town mayor's mansion. Although being a burden was not what he wanted, the position and strength of the mayor could not be shaken. For the safety of his parents, the girl also caught his eye. Ziqi cooperated and put on a bright red wedding dress, and was taken into the mayor's mansion. The wedding seemed normal, but he keenly smelled an unusual smell. With extraordinary intelligence and wit, he finally found out the truth from a little girl's mouth. Originally, borrowing the name of a superfluous person was actually a glimpse into his spiritual roots. This news is like a bolt from the blue. No wonder he was recruited by the town mayor as soon as he detected the 3 spirit roots, and he couldn't wait to get married before he reached his age. That's why. The 3 spirit roots are extremely rare in Xuelu town and have a great chance of successfully building foundations. Even the mayor only has 6 layers of refining gas. How could there be a cultivator with good spiritual roots who lives in a border town with sparse spiritual energy in the cultivation world? Most of the people there are those who cannot practice and have been abandoned by certain cultivation families. The Lu family is a big family on the cultivation continent, but big families are more concerned about identity and status. Those who cannot practice can only live in remote towns far from their families. Even mining and other miscellaneous tasks do not require them to do, and these people have basically been abandoned by their families, living a life of ordinary food and clothing. His father was originally from the legitimate lineage of the Lu family, but he was also sent to Xuelu town because he could not cultivate. He vividly remembers the excited look on his father's face when he first tested his spiritual roots in the town. He was about to send him back to his family, but was directly chosen as his son-in-law by the mayor. Leaving aside the long journey of returning home, it is very likely that one will die halfway through the mountains and rivers, and even the town mayor cannot escape this hurdle. Almost anyone in the town who can cultivate up to the 4th level of Qi refining has been recruited by him to become the leader of this area, and the people in the town will respectfully call him Qi Neryi. Abandoning the distractions in his heart, Ziqi finally remembered the inexplicable and wonderful thing that had smashed into his body, and his spiritual consciousness quickly penetrated into his body. This is a big surprise. There was a gray and hazy mass inside the dantian, like gas with a sticky gel-like texture. A small gray bead floated inside, slowly spinning. As the beads rotated, strands of gray gas were released from them and slowly converged onto the hazy mass. What is this? For a person with 3 levels of Qi refining and limited knowledge of cultivation, he doesn't know what it is, but feels very comfortable. Moreover, he had already felt the rich spiritual energy contained in the gray mist, constantly flowing into his meridians and limbs, changing his muscles and muscles. The cultivation is also gradually improving, although the speed is slow, it is truly rising. Ziqi tried to operate the Gin Qi Ju, and found that the speed of the bead's rotation would continue to increase. After an hour, his cultivation level broke through to the 4th level of Qi refining, and the gray and misty ball also underwent some changes at this time. A space measuring 5 zhang square appeared within the dantian, surrounded by still gray and sticky things, as if in chaos, unable to see the essence clearly. The gray beads are suspended in space, still spinning non-stop. Ziqi couldn't conceal his excitement. This magical bead that suddenly entered his body can automatically absorb external spiritual energy and then transform into his own true element. In other words, in the future, meditation practice will not only rely on spiritual roots to absorb spiritual energy, but also this bead, and the cultivation speed will increase several times. The most important thing is the small space that appears inside the body. Although we have just seen its embryonic form, we can feel that it is constantly changing, and we don't know what it will become in the future. I haven't had time to tidy up my excited mood yet. I feel like there is something more in the sea of consciousness, such as the inheritance of talismans and formations. Ziqi closed his eyes and carefully felt the additional information, as if it was both unfamiliar and familiar, as if it was his own thing. For example, in the art of making talismans, he had never learned it at all. If he had talisman paper and pen, he would surely be able to create a high-quality spiritual talisman with ease. Although he loves formations, in that barren town, it's difficult for him to even get a decent formation book. He sneaks around and pieces together, but he has only just reached the level of a first-level formation mage. However, at this point, he can easily see the level of the complex formation in the inheritance of the sea. What's going on? Is it the memory inheritance brought by this gray bead? Or is it that the bead itself has something to do with itself? With his self-proclaimed smart brain, he couldn't figure out the reason behind it for a moment. Never mind, let's not think about it. Anyway, tonight's adventure is like a big pie falling from the sky to me. Thinking so, my stomach grumbled a few times and I haven't eaten anything for a day. Glancing at the dark and lackluster mountains, killing monsters to eat. Also afraid of causing unnecessary trouble. The spiritual energy here is significantly stronger than that in the small town, and there may be second or even third level monsters in the mountains. The third level demon beast is equivalent to the strength of 9 or 10 layers of Qi refining, and it is not something one can handle. And the group chasing him is likely to wander around nearby and cannot fall into crisis again just to fill their stomachs. Enduring hunger, he began to close his eyes and think. My parents are still in Shuelu town, I wonder if the mayor will cause them trouble. We need to pick up our parents as soon as possible to be at ease. However, as soon as I broke through the 4th layer of Qi refining, I didn't have this ability at all. Going back would undoubtedly be a death sentence. Joining the family of Qishan City. Being able to send his father to a small border town makes him feel indifferent and insecure, and he has worked hard to find it. He may not even be able to enter the family gate. Saving parents can only rely on oneself. To cultivate to the 7th level of Qi refining, even with that small bead, it would take a year and a half, which is too late. Suddenly, with a flash of spiritual light, he realized that he was not the same as before. He had inherited a talisman array in the sea of knowledge. If he could make a second-level low-level spiritual talisman, he could kill the mayor. To make talismans, one needs to have talisman paper, pen, and ink. Having no money, one can only exchange money by killing monsters. Ziqi slowly opened his eyes and looked around at the gradually clear surroundings. He stood up, and it was time for him to go into the mountains to hunt down monsters. With his current level of Qi refining, he only knows simple spells. If there are no magic tools available, hunting first-level monsters is not a problem, but facing second-level monsters will be dangerous. Be careful not to sneak halfway up the mountain without encountering a first-order demon beast. Ziqi furrowed his eyebrows. Is there no demon beast in this mountain? With this thought, I couldn't help but accelerate my pace and continue to delve deeper. At this moment, a purple-black demon snake about 10 feet long suddenly appeared from the nearby tree. His gaze was like a torch, he took the initiative to attack, without concealing his hostility towards the incoming alien. How could Ziqi be scared by it? Just a first-order monster, no matter how strong its strength is, it is equivalent to refining 3 layers of Qi. Without much effort, the demon snake was killed and its skin was easily peeled off. The remaining meat was naturally roasted and eaten. I'm really too hungry. When processing snake meat, unexpectedly discovered a light red demon pill. Only when the monster reaches the 3rd level can it produce the demon pill. Unexpectedly, I found the demon pill on the 1st level demon snake. Luck has arrived, I can't even stop it. Ziqi's lips kept rising, like a crescent moon slowly rising in the sky. With this demon pill, he no longer needs to put in effort to slay the monster. The problem is that he can't take it away even after killing too many. He is so poor that he doesn't even have a small storage bag. Wrapping the snake's skin around his waist, the demon pill was collected, and Ziqi no longer hesitated to turn around and run towards the foot of the mountain. Chapter 2. Breaking Through the Mayor's Mansion Alone. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. De co lois ara trong quatrin lay text. Chapter 3. Being bumped into by someone. You are listening at novel full.audio. De co lois ara trong quatrin lay text. Chapter 4. Showcasing skills on the spot. You are listening at novel full.audio. De co lois ara trong quatrin lay text. Chapter 5. Entering the family. You are listening at novel full.audio. De co lois ara trong quatrin lay text. Chapter 6. Recognizing our ancestors and returning to our ancestors. You are listening at novel full.audio. De co lois ara trong quatrin lay text. Chapter 7. Meeting in front of a restaurant. You are listening at novel full.audio. De co lois ara trong quatrin lay text. Chapter 8. Conditions for divorce. You are listening at novel full.audio. De co lois ara trong quatrin lay text. Chapter 9. Duel. You are listening at novel full.audio. De co lois ara trong quatrin lay text. Chapter 10. The Three Spiritual Roots of Tianpin. You are listening at novel full.audio. De co lois ara trong quatrin lay text.